I've been a visual artist my entire life. I've been painting since I could hold a paintbrush, and music actually kind of came secondary to that, but creativity was already something that was inside of me. I started playing piano when I was 5. I took a method of piano teaching called Suzuki method, which is where you teach children how to kind of understand sound in music before you actually teach them how to read music. Kind of like learning music as a language. I didn't know I was really writing music, but I was writing music as a kid by just experimenting on the piano. So I would go to my piano lessons and my teacher would say, watch my hands, listen to the music, and like more so feel it than quantize it. Kind of at the age of 9, when you're supposed to transition to learning how to read it, I started taking a lesson from another teacher and hated it because it felt academic. It felt like I had to do homework and study, whereas I just wanted to play, learn songs, and play what I wanted to play pop music. So I stopped taking piano lessons and would just play my mom's grand piano, look up songs on YouTube, learn songs I actually wanted to learn, but I never learned how to read music. I still don't know how to read music. I play by ear to this day. When I was 15, we had a school coffee house where people could come and like read poems or play music. My friend who played the ukulele said she wanted to perform a song, and she kind of didn't want to do it alone. I had never performed in front of anyone. And she said, do we have any friends that can sing? And I didn't know if I could or couldn't, but in my heart, I knew I could. So I was like, I think I can sing. She was like, but can you sing? And I was like, I'm pretty sure I can sing. Because I'd been singing in the shower for years. And I was like 15. And I would just like belt Dreamgirls songs. So I'd been like practicing belting songs in the shower for years. And of course my brothers were like, shut up. But I thought I was good. So I volunteered, I said, let's do it together. And we started practicing. We got a standing ovation at the coffee house. And so I had a pretty good idea that people liked it. And so I bought a guitar, started, learning music on the guitar and singing. So I think I was coming into music as soon as bedroom pop started to become a thing. I was 14, wanting to make music, wanting to write music, starting on GarageBand from when I was younger and then up to Logic. I didn't put out music until I was 22, so that's 8 years. My brothers and my dad nicknamed me Mia for missing in action because I was just always in my room. I remember having a huge Beatles phase because I came to it on my own in my teen years. And I thought, I know the Beatles, I know a lot of their songs, but I don't really know a ton of their discography. And if they're regarded as one of the best bands in the world ever of all time, as a musician, I should probably look into that. So around like 15 or 16, I started listening to the Beatles, and for probably a year, I couldn't listen to anything else because I fell so deeply in love with their music. Everything else sounded bad. So on the bus to school, pretty much every morning, I listened to Abbey Road. George Harrison, I think, is my favorite songwriter of all time. His songs were my favorite. But then my older brother started listening to like dubstep and trap music. I do think I have this root of like bedroom electropop. Sometimes I'm a little darker, a little edgier, and I've kind of pivoted now, I don't know, hardcore, kind of like drum and bass influences. And I come from the era of dubstep for sure. Those are really like my roots, like the old Skrillex days. I make all types of different music. I work in sync now too, so I'm making hip hop, alternative, rock, folk, whatever they want. My roots are maybe in pop and electronic music, but I'm kind of all over the map. Sync, it's hard to get a hit. You make a lot of music and you don't always, get the job, but it sits in the library and then hopefully one day someone will pick it up, which has happened to me. I've made things for specific people and gets picked up by other people. I ended up signing a deal with a label, which I then left, but I never even got my first album out. I had signed for 2 albums and ended up only releasing a few singles before I left. It's definitely hard to make a living as a musician, so I was just looking for other ways to monetize and found a sync team through my label. They connected me there and I've just continued to work with them. And I just knew that writing music with other people for briefs was a skill that I had, just based on going to film school and writing music for people's scores and films. So I already knew that I had that ability, and it was something that intrigued me that I wanted to do and that could help me sustain my life as a musician. I started out by going to these writing camps with these publishers, which was kind of my first introduction to disco, actually, was through writing camps. And I had already known about it, but I hadn't practiced music using it in a professional capacity until I started working in sync. I have my artist project. Actually kind of have 2 artist projects. One of them I haven't put out yet, but it's gonna mainly focus on electronic music. And then I have my pop project, and then I have the music that I'm doing for sync. And then I have the music that I produce and write for other people. So that's like kind of already 4 subsects, 5 probably, actually, with my other artists. I have like 3 artist projects. Anyways, I'm a big like organizational freak when it comes to music. Have my drives, my computer, and disco. That definitely gives me a peace of mind that if I lost my computer, lost my drives, that I just constantly upload things to disco. It's like a progress report. I delete anything that's old and re-upload it every time I make an export. I try to keep everything up to date and backed up, saved through disco. I produce and write, I would say, to like kind of an 80% mark. I have a lot of other people that I need to be sending the music to back and forth, from the people I'm writing with to music supervisors that need to get the music sent to them, and then just like sharing my music with friends. Yeah, the organizational aspect of disco is huge for the process and for sending it out. A lot of people these days, if they're working professionally in music, have disco, which is nice. I can also send, my kind of like biography form of disco out to people who I might want to start working with, and they can kind of go through my music in sections of like, here's what she's doing as her artist project, here's what she's doing in sync, here's what she's writing and producing for other people. So I can just see all in one place what are the things that are in demo phase, what are the things that are done from, my standpoint that need to now be mixed, what are the things that need to be mastered. And I also like listening to my music in the car. So I'll pull up my disco and, play my mixes on my car speakers. So I'm constantly, wanting to take the music with me, which is why I'm always uploading the current version so I can hear the mix.